We'll continue our discussion. We'll continue investigating the significance of the role and significance of instructional materials for language curriculum design. Right. Now we'll see the role of textbooks. What are the uses of textbooks? Textbooks are considered created materials, and in the previous module we talked about the differences. We did a comparison between, authentic and created materials. Right. Textbooks, we'll see what are their advantages and some of their limitations. There are different ways of using textbooks for language teaching. One of them is, reading text. So before we proceed with this discussion, the rationale why we are talking about the textbooks is that we need to carefully assess the impact of textbooks on learners, teachers, and on the program overall. That's the rationale why we are discussing the textbooks as a part of instructional materials. Okay. Well, reading texts, they provide, reading skills like skimming and scanning. And they also provide, exercises for learners about what they have read. And writing, for writing, there is a way of doing writing. If you are using textbooks, so they are providing, model compositions and ready-made topics which we could use to involve our students. And the grammar provides, examples of grammar in use. Okay. And the speaking, if we are using a textbook for teaching speaking skill, so that's going to be easy for us because it comes with, various CDs, and we could read the text to our students and discuss its contents. So there are various ways of doing textbooks. So as language planners, we need to, as curriculum planners, we need to be aware of what are different ways of using texts and what could be their impact upon learners. Okay, now we'll discuss briefly the advantages of textbooks or commercial books for a program. They provide, one of the benefits is they provide a coherent structure to the program. For example, textbooks prescribed by Punjab textbook in the province of Punjab, schools from grade 1 to 12, they give coverage of various topics. I mean, and the structure of various topics, what's going to be covered. Right. Secondly, they standardize instruction because they give some useful tools for teachers to employ. For example, if you look at textbooks of 9th class, English language 9th class textbook, you'll see some guidelines for teachers how to, standardize their instruction, dividing the lessons into tasks and activities. And they help maintain the quality and variety of learning resources because they come, for example, listening, they come with CDs and some other things. And they are efficient to use as compared to, authentic materials. And if an institute got some inexperienced, newly qualified teachers, so they could be having sort of training. They could be trained how to use the textbooks, right? And they are visually appealing. Let's briefly go through some of the limitations attached to textbooks. Okay. Textbooks, one of the limitations they contain inauthentic language, which means they don't contain language taking place in the real world. Okay, and they don't meet the changing needs of the students. They could, I mean, they are rather sort of imposed upon the students, and since they tend to restrict the roles of the teachers, so they might de-skill them, and the teachers might be constrained to use a specific method as shown in the textbooks. And then another limitation is they distort the content, because they are created so that, you know, sort of rob the natural flavor from the language, and they could be expensive. So now we have seen textbooks, how they are an important part of the curriculum design process, and we need to make informed judgments when we are taking decisions about the use of textbooks. So what are the different ways out there, and how we can you know, assess their importance for language teaching.